Whether you're working on your brand new SharePoint Online intranet or training users on how to add content in SharePoint Online, every time you work with images, whether it's at the top of a news in the header or adding an image in a SharePoint page, you've probably seen the option to get an image directly from a web search powered by Bing. While this can seem like a great integration, it's important to know that you and your users are responsible for respecting the copyrights on those images. And let's be honest, how many information workers know about copyright laws, Creative Commons, and all of those kind of things? That's why there is an option to actually turn it off. And that's exactly what you're going to learn in this video. Before we go to the solution, let's do a quick recap of what we're trying to solve. Whether you want to update a news header or add an image to a SharePoint page or news, in the multiple options you have on the left, one of them will be web search. One of them will be the web search, which is an experience powered by Bing. Microsoft makes it very clear at the bottom that you are responsible for respecting others' rights when using those pictures, including copyright. Microsoft does make an effort to help users out, and by default, the search is limited to results that are marked as Creative Commons. However, users can easily switch to all results, and let's be honest, most information workers do not know what Creative Commons even means. They just assume that if they can pick it from their enterprise SharePoint Online system, they are good to go. So, how do we disable it? As this is a tenant level setting, you need to be a SharePoint Online administrator, and you also need to have the SharePoint Online PowerShell module. If you do not have the module, there is a link in the description below that shows where you can get it from. The property we will need to change at the tenant level is the file picker external image search enabled, and here's what the official description is. For web parts that support inserting images, like for example image or hero web part, the web search powered by Bing option will be available if enabled, which is enabled by default, but this also means we can disable it. So we will run the set SPO tenant PowerShell commandlet and then specify the file picker external image search enabled and set it to false. It's really one commandlet and super easy to do. So let's head over in the demo environment and check it out. I am now in my demo tenant, which does not have the setting changed, which means that if I go on a news, go click on edit, and then let's say I try to go add an image web part here, I do have the web search option, which is normal. Now let me drag over a PowerShell window I have prepared. In this PowerShell session, I have actually got my credential and then connected to my SharePoint Online tenant. And again, you need to be a SharePoint Online administrator in order to do this, and a prior experience with SharePoint Online PowerShell is recommended. If we take a look at the tenant properties, so I ran a get SPO tenant, and then I selected the file picker external image search enabled. It's set to true right now, which is the default. So let's copy the PowerShell from the slides where we set it to false. The commandlet would only take a few seconds to run, and if we check the property now, it should show up as false, and really, that's the only configuration you need to make. However, really importantly, you do need to wait a few hours until you can see the change in the user interface. Even if in PowerShell it was done right away, it will take quite a few hours, even up to a day, until you can see the difference in SharePoint Online. So let's stop the recording for now, and I'll be back in just a few seconds for you so we can take a look at the results. It's now been approximately 48 hours since I did the change. I went inside my tenant, and now if I go change image on the header, you will notice that the web search is not there anymore. So users really are limited to the recent, stock images, OneDrive, or an image from the site or to upload. And of course, if you have enabled the organizational assets library, that one will also be available in there. This is it for this short video on how to disable the web search option for SharePoint Online image pickers. If you have enjoyed this video, make sure to subscribe to my channel so you get an alert every time I create new videos, and thank you very much for watching.